Hello and welcome to This Week in Sports. I am your co-host Nick with my co-host Zach.
Hello.
And we are back once again for another roundup of a week in sporting events here at the official, not quite official end of summer. We've got the summer sports just about wrapping up, except for baseball, which lasts forever. But yes, our WNBA is wrapped up for the year just about.
It is. We are heading into playoffs now officially.
Yep. And then we're back to skating hockey games. They don't count for very much just yet, but it's starting to be that time of year again.
They do count for something.
And we've got our first full week of the NFL in the books to talk about as well. So with all that being said, let's get the hockey news out of the way to start things off. It is still the slowest sport at the moment. So we do have a fair bit of news, though. We had our first rookie showcase game last night.
Where did they play that at?
I believe that was
that the one that was like supposed to be the Utah home game, but Utah, you don't have a home?
No, those aren't these quite yet. That one is going to be played at Magnus Arena. I want to say this one was probably just at Family Sports, if not.
I thought it was at the Eagles Center.
They did originally schedule one of those, but I think they had construction going on this summer instead. So
fair enough.
But yes, the Utah rookies and prospects team came into town and played our Avs rookies, and the Avs came away with a late come from behind 5-3 victory. Very exciting to see there, but mostly names that we might see as AHL call-ups. Nothing that no one's going to be making the team off of this roster.
Yeah.
In other Avs-related news, Alexander Georgiev, our old pal who unfortunately fell off the face of the planet last year in a contract year, does have himself a new team to play for.
He did it to himself, to be fair.
Yeah, coming off of a 3-year, $3.7 million contract, he got a 1-year, $855,000 deal to go be the fourth goaltender in Buffalo.
To go basically fight to be a goaltender.
Essentially, this is a step above a professional tryout, essentially.
Is it, though?
Yeah, because they're calling it a 1-year contract at like vet minimum. And it's, yeah.
4 goalies seems like a lot. Like, what do you do with all of them? Because I assume, do you say...
Not all of them are going to make the roster.
Down, right?
Theoretically, he could. I don't know what the rules are for goalies, like in terms of how much seniority you need before you can refuse a send down.
You have to not allow 4 goals a game. That's one thing you need to not do.
It'll be a year where he can go nowhere but up, it would seem like.
That is fair.
But we will see. Other news around the league before we get to our big topic of the week. The Penguins are going to give a one last farewell to Fleury, their old goaltender, who is going to suit up for the very first preseason game.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he retired last I checked.
He did make last year his retirement run, but he was in a Minnesota sweater the entire time, if you remember. So just to say goodbye to his Pittsburgh homies, he is suiting up as a Penguin for one more game.
When you think of Fleury, do you think of him as a Pittsburgh goalie? I for some reason I see him a little bit more as a Knight these days, but
he won the cup with the Knights. He won a cup with the Penguins as well.
But say he has won with both teams, but now I kind of see him more as a Knight. He was kind of like one of their main pieces there.
He was the premier like free agent that they started the franchise off with, for sure. I think he definitely has a place in their pantheon, but it's probably because his Penguin era was a little before when you were like paying attention to hockey. Yeah, more widespread, but because that
it's just tough, like
because he grew up with Crosby in that era.
It's tough to be like in that era because you have Crosby and then
Malkin.
Yeah, Malkin there. So you're kind of like the third piece. Goalie's important, but
yeah, and he was that piece for that first era of cup runs that they were making there. So in Pittsburgh, if you know, you know, and they remember their old man. Speaking of old men around the league, Edmonton has made one huge improvement for their chances to win the Stanley Cup this year already. They got rid of Corey Perry. No, they got rid of the Corey Perry curse. The man who can get to the finals cannot win them.
They should know this.
Yeah, they tried it for 2 years.
He's been literally, I think, in the past five or six finals in a row.
5 of the last 6, and 5 of the last 6 he's been there and lost.
How many has he won of those?
He has an Anaheim Cup and a I want to say Chicago Cup. That's how old Corey Perry is going into his 21st season of his career.
All that says is he's been to a lot of cups because I assume he got it during the big Chicago run when
he was in that mid-teens trifecta era. I don't think he was there for all 3, but he got one of them.
He's been to probably at least 10 cups himself, which is
his playoff numbers are insane.
20% though is not. Granted, he does have 2. They're tough to come by. Having your name on Lord Stanley Cup is
2 is nothing to sneeze at.
But
the news about Corey Perry this week, besides the fact that he no longer plays with the Oilers, he is in fact signed with the LA Kings, who are the rivals of his longtime original team, the Anaheim Ducks. He has in fact gotten himself injured here right before the preseason begins. He is expected to be out 6 to 8 weeks for a knee surgery.
That is not good.
Yeah, unclear what exactly happened because again, these are like informal practices right now with like a lot of the vets that are happening. So unclear if it was like a contact thing or he just like got his skate stuck in the ice weird.
Does the Corey Perry curse apply if you have him on the roster but he's not playing?
We might find out this year because the Kings were still a playoff team even without Corey Perry last year. The big news of the NHL world this week though is the news out of Minnesota. I don't know if you saw any of this, that Kirill Kaprizov, Kirill the Thrill, who has been there...
He's been there for he's like one of their big acquisitions, right?
Well, he's a young phenom. They developed him. He just completed his 5th year with the Wild, and they offered to him this offseason an 8-year, $16 million contract, leapfrogging Connor McDavid by $4 million, and Kirill said, no thank you.
That does not seem good for the Wild, but also, is that allowed under the CBA? It feels like I don't know where the cap is.
That is part of the thing that the Wild had been doing at the end of last year. They were like, "Oh, we're not making any moves at the trade deadline because we're going to have all this cap room to go out for some big names in free agency in the summer." And lo and behold, all their free agent targets signed everywhere else. So they kind of came out of the free agency frenzy with nothing to show for it. And so they've now decided they kind of pivoted and were like, we can at least lock up our young centerpiece, top of the line center for a long-term deal and say that he's going to be the bedrock of the franchise moving forward.
Honestly, really good on him because he knows, everyone now knows what the new CBA rules are. And really, if you're a player, you either have to love what you're playing or you're just a sucker and gonna sign for one of these deals. Why would you trap yourself?
So he is 100% gonna and now the rumor mill is churning because obviously that's devastating news for Minnesota in terms of Kirill's not gonna re-sign and you can't now offer him more money. What sort of signal does that send to everyone else in the league?
There's kind of this is not a good message, one, because like you said, that's a lot of money in the hockey world. What message does that send out to the rest of the league about what's happening in Minnesota?
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the stats I was reading about this are insane. In his 5 years here, they've never gotten past the first round in the playoffs, despite he's put up about 36 points in like 20 playoff games. It is a rate of playoff scoring that is unheard of before.
I was going to say, that's another team that seems kind of cursed because they had the 2 acquisitions they made during the one free agency run that they had. There was like, everyone was like, that was
Parise and Suter.
This is going to be the team.
Unfortunately, those contracts are still kind of haunting their salary cap issues today.
Yeah. And I assume neither one of those dudes is playing for the team.
No, Parise, they're both retired by now. Neither one of them played out the entirety of their contract. I think they both bailed in year 7 of 10. back before there was that 8-year limit on the contracts, which is part of now why there's an 8-year limit on the and it's going to be 7 years come next off season. So that's sort of the big news. And now you know that Kirill's not going to re-sign. If you're the GM at Minnesota, you kind of have to find a trade for him this year, because this was his extension off season. Now he's in Rantanen territory again. We know an extension is not going to materialize in the season. What sort of assets can you get for him before he walks next summer out the door and says, okay, thanks, bye. I'm going to go get my bag.
Seems like the right opportunity to bring Rantanen in. Why not? Dallas is
kind of we just want to move him out to Minnesota now?
Yeah, why not?
I couldn't. No,
It seems like
I'm not sure which jersey seeing him in upsets me more, honestly.
I mean, it's the Dallas way. Micah's not there. Luke was not there. They did say, don't worry, we have Rantanen. But if you had to choose between Rantanen and Kaprizov.
Kaprizov's younger at this point, so that's the better future investment. I mean, hey, honestly, if Chris McFarland wants to whip up a deal where we can lock down Kaprizov, we're not going to be able to afford to give him no $16 million, though.
You could. I don't think you'd like the deal he would send out. It'd probably have to involve Makar.
Oh, no, that's not worth it at all. Not even a little.
I think that's the only way they would accept it, is like a straight swap, and maybe we get some extra stuff. But
we certainly have very few assets to offer outside of actual roster players.
Outside of the dudes that are basically untouchable.
Yeah, but that's all neither here nor there. That'll be the sort of drama to see how it unfolds. He does still have one more year on his contract to play out, but it does look like he intends to try out that free agency business, and Minnesota will be looking to plug a very big production hole very quickly.
Yeah, good for them. I'm glad things are out there in the world of the Wild are going well.
Yeah, absolutely. And then just to keep everyone updated, we are less than 30 days away from puck drop on official regular season games again. So yeah, it's coming up ever closer.
Yeah, it feels scary.
Absolutely. While on the one hand, the off season was very long. On the other hand, it was nothing at all.
Yeah. One thing I will say is that you kind of mentioned it. Baseball season feels like an eternity long.
Oh yeah.
But it does feel like the winter sports kind of blew by us, and now we're almost right back in them again.
Mm-hmm. Also, we didn't have an Olympics to cover this summer, which really filled the gap last year.
Yeah.
That all being said, let's finish up our roundup of week 1 football action, because we did get to talk about the Thursday night and the Friday night games, but then we have not been on the mic since we got the Sunday and Monday affairs, and kind of saved some of the best games for the very end of the schedule on week 1.
Yeah, it did feel that way a little bit. Both the Sunday night game and Monday night game are to be remembered, I would say.
Very memorable, especially after for a week 1 in which right beforehand you declared week 1 does not matter in football at all.
It still does not matter.
But look at all this good momentum and feels we got for like half the teams in the league.
We all say that, and then again we have the damn Chiefs Kingdom that will come in week 3 and be like, all right guys, we're ready to go now, and everyone's like, but we've already been.
We thought we defeated you.
We've already been playing for a little bit now, and same thing we'll go for who we're about to talk about, Baltimore here, who didn't have a super great time.
No, not in particular. One of the all-time comebacks in Bills history, though. If you haven't heard about it already, you have been under a rock this week. The Bills with a 41-40 last-minute win, with a come from behind of 14 points in the last 4 minutes or something like that.
Also, it was a game-winning field goal, and the Bill Stadium is notably one of the hardest, if not the hardest place to kick the ball.
An absolutely cursed team to kick the ball for in clutch situations. But if you're going to call any man to come kick a kick of that caliber, you need someone who's been there before. Maybe 18 seasons worth of before. In legendary Broncos kicker of old, Matt Prater.
You can hit it.
They dusted his old bones off of retirement and said, Matt, we need you. We need you this weekend. Our kicker's hurt, and you're the only one we know who can guaranteed make some 30-yarders.
I forgot they were. I forgot during the Hard Knocks they were missing a kicker. They have a tight end that was able to kick the ball, but I think they also put him on the practice squad. And ideally, in a situation like this, you want an official guy,
and there's no one more actual than Matt Prater, who was yanked out of retirement in Arizona, where he is the assistant coach on his son's Pee Wee football team and a math teacher by day, if some TikToks are to be believed.
Yeah,
it's very funny. He's like, "See you in class Monday, Mr. P."
That's weird.
Right?
That's so weird.
He's an old man now. Vaughn was posting up old pics of Prater the morning after. It was very good. That was a great comeback by the Bills and an all-time choke by the Ravens. Jim Harbaugh, Jim's the Baltimore one, right? Or is it John?
John's over in LA.
Okay, Jim has now 17 fourth quarter lead losses.
Yeah, he's struggling. The one thing I will say is I don't understand the Ravens dynamic quite yet, and it feels like it only really works in a certain number of scenarios. Like, they're not very good defensively. They're not super, like...
The Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry combo.
It's a very deadly combo. It gave the Bills a little bit of a struggle, at least.
There's a reason they were up so high.
For what is it, 47 minutes and 30 seconds of the game is a problem.
Essentially.
They don't really have any wide receivers. The tight end, Mark Andrews, had a little bit of issues last year. Isaiah Likely's still young and kind of up and coming, so it's like, you don't really want to be throwing your threat can't be the tight end catching the ball. Running the ball is not always viable because you're not always going to get that big 4 or 5 yard chunk.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the defensive end, they their best players in the secondary. We know how that feels, and I don't really know much about what their middle looks like at all, which I think is a little worrisome.
And a big change historically from a Ravens defense that used to be known by its up the middle Ray Lewis.
Very much so.
Ed Reed.
If you I think. Now that we're starting having a discussion, if you're going to have the best player, it's best to have them up the middle, at least one of your top 3
Traditionally,
players.
in almost every sport I can think of, that is true. Yeah, I don't know anywhere where you're like, it's better to be a left fielder than a center fielder, or a left wing than a center.
Like, you want I think ideally you want your best player to making the play calls, kind of getting everyone in the right position. But
absolutely. So yes, that was the exciting Sunday night game. Other highlights out of week 1. The Steelers went over to the New York Jets for a double revenge game with the quarterbacks.
Damn old man.
And Aaron Rodgers proved that nothing is a better motivator than revenge.
Yeah, he had 4 touchdowns in that game, which neither Justin Fields nor Russell Wilson, I think, even combined for 2 or 3 the season before.
No, the Giants didn't get 1. They only put up 6 this week.
Russell did not. Russell looked like how we know Russell to look, at least here.
Yeah, the check down machine that cannot convert a first down.
That's kind of the options they give him. Boy, it would be nice if they had a running back there, someone that's potentially an MVP caliber offensive player of the year. That would be nice, but
it sure would be. In a thrilling game, Justin Fields for the New York Jets now trying to outduel the Pittsburgh Steelers, who he played for last year, and Aaron Rodgers very personally enjoying a victory over the Jets franchise that he scorned in the offseason.
That he got scorned by.
There was mutual scorning.
Lots of
Yeah, it did actually turn out, this was another one that was decided by a last-second field goal, but Rodgers did, have the 4 touchdowns on the day. Looked very good. He looked like he was pulling off the off-balance throws that Bo Nix thought he could do.
Yeah, they had a lot. There's been a lot of footage of his old man body moving in the preseason. And it looked not good. No. I'm sure you've seen the same videos that I've seen, and it's like, oh God. But apparently, it seems fine in games.
There's no way Aaron Rodgers is giving his 100% effort in the preseason games. He was probably just like walking through those, and not to say that there's a whole lot left in that gas tank, but he definitely wasn't showing any of it before.
The one thing I will say about Mike Tomlin is he's going to find a way to get that team to about 500.
At least,
if not more, and maybe a playoff run. And he seems to have a way with quarterbacks, Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, kind of finding a system that works enough that
this era of the Tomlin career is very interesting in that it, for the first chunk, was very much like, I have a franchise quarterback guy and we're the combo, and it's because of this long-standing relationship. And now it's kind of switched to, the Steelers are a bit of a quarterback mill, but I'm going to make it work to the same effect.
Yeah, I mean, everything still relies on their defense for the most part over there. I would say, the one thing I will say Tomlin's never has, he's never had an elite quarterback, because even Big Ben, he was a good quarterback, not elite, because Tom Brady's, Peyton Manning's, all those people exist. He was
like the last of the gunslinger model of quarterback. He didn't have any of the leg mechanics or anything.
He reminds me a lot of like a slow, thick Josh Allen. Like he could throw the ball, but also like you can't just like tap him. You got to actually go hit Big Ben.
Yeah, you do got to go run him down for sure. Yeah, it has been not ever their best position in Mike Tomlin's career, for sure.
Also interested to see how this team, or how these teams play this next week, because neither one of those teams has very good, like, high expectations.
Oh yeah, no, but for a week 1 matchup, very exciting. The Monday night game was also very good. That was the Minnesota Vikings against the division rival Chicago Bears. And what looked like was going to be a Chicago victory to spoil the J.J. McCarthy debut.
What?
And then all of a sudden, it came together for the Vikings at the very end.
What?
So that was another good one. And then we had our game on Sunday afternoon.
Before that, we can't not go without mentioning the morning game of the Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, sure.
Danny Dimes out there.
Yes. I did. I was just watching the highlights on this, and yeah, that was a game for sure.
Miami just in despair about what to do.
I forgot. I was going to ask. Yeah, when did the Dolphins officially become cooked? Was it just last season, and we thought they would uncook themselves?
They have so many issues going on in there just internally, right? Because Tua has this whole concussion things. He's trying to like fight through and balance, and we just kind of want him to live a little bit. Mike McDaniels really is not good without Tua in there. Understandable from coaching perspective, sure. And then Tyreek Hill does not want to be there. So they have a lot of different internal issues battling out. Their best player on the defensive end, I do believe, was Jalen Ramsey, who is not there anymore. So I think they have Minka.
They've got Bradley Chubb still.
They do, but he was hurt last year. Pretty sure he tore his ACL. So he's not quite the same dude that he was, the Bradley Chubb that we know and love, at least. We kind of did get out on him at the right time, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. In fact, the Colts-Dolphins game ended up 33-8, but the Dolphins did not get on the board until garbage time. It was largely a 30-0 whooping for 95% of that game.
Just a masterclass for the Colts for the most part.
And an absolute disaster for the Dolphins. For an offense that looked like it was so well-oiled and put together and was on the cutting edge of football like strategy 2 years ago.
They are good offensively. Mike McDaniel's very good offensive mind. A lot of people do not seem super interested in the defensive side of the ball and in a lot of different sports these days, which I get, but also a little important.
For sure. It's always a pendulum, that sort of thing. But yes, very impressive and efficient operation of the Colts offense from Danny Dimes, as you have alluded to. Is that Colts team? Let's see. Who else that Colts team gonna be looking at in week 2 here?
Us.
Oh yeah, that's right, huh? Yep. What a segue.
And boy, what a struggle it is to put together my fantasy team where I had Danny Dimes on the bench and none other than Bo Nix starting for me last week. And we can talk about young Bo and his performance last week. And
that seems like the perfect segue because, it was quite the show for the Broncos game against the Tennessee Titans on Sunday afternoon.
Exactly how we thought it was going to go.
100%, yes. Absolutely no offensive cohesion in the first half of the game, and then bailed out at the end by the defense. Some very strange decision making on the Tennessee side.
The offensive game plan was a little strange. Just overall, don't know what happened to our game plan from the preseason. We threw all those away. I would like to go collect those, potentially pull them out of the trash. I would like to see some of those back again. Also, Bo Nix just, like I said, week 1's a little strange. Did not look super great. All his throws were a little bit off balance. A couple of them not to his own fault. Our line just stopped blocking for a few plays that could have been crucial. But some things like that happen.
Yeah, definitely a not yet clicking on all cylinders engine on the offensive side there. How many turnovers did Bo have at the end? 3?
He ended up with 3, 2 picks, and a fumble.
Yeah. Classic, foundational mistakes that you want to get cleaned up. Again, thankfully, the defense was up to the task, and Tennessee helped us out a lot by making some silly mistakes at every step of the way.
I would say, I don't even know if it's just like Tennessee mistakes, because Cam Ward out there looked really good for the rookie, just overall.
Yeah, Cam was pretty good.
Our defense, though, is nasty.
Absolutely. There was one drive in the second half that it was just PS2 and Riley Moss shutting down 3 pass attempts, and that was it. That was the entire drive.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of Riley Moss hate as of late on the internet for some unbeknownst reason. Don't know. I don't know
wild. Why. It can't be people who are watching the games.
Apparently they are. They're actual Bronco fans hating on Riley Moss, saying he's getting burned all the time. They were complaining about a lot of different things, pass interference calls not being called on him. It was
absolutely wild.
There's a hand battle. What do you want him to do? Just take it?
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
Yeah. I have been thoroughly pleased by his performance thus far.
He's been excellent as just the number 2 option. I would be a little scared to have him as the number 1 guy, but
many broadcasts like to explain to the audience, because you've got Pat Surtain on the other side of the field locking down the number 1 option, you become the prime target on the field. So you know that the ball's coming your way.
Yeah, and you're going to have a lot of help. I think the defensive coordinator is also going to know that and shift the safety over to help you a little bit more and whatnot.
Yeah, so. And it's, this is, again, it's a duo that's in their second year together now, right? If not third?
This is their third year together. Riley Moss didn't play his first year because he was hurt.
That's okay.
Yeah, he got hurt a little earlier on.
Yeah. Second year was last year was his first year as a starter. That's what I'm remembering. Okay, yep. Yeah. But yeah, for sure, one of the best, if not the best, cornerback tandem.
I think they are the best, but going by ratings, a 90%, which is crazy.
Yeah, and that's always, as we know from the no-fly zone era, gonna keep you in some games.
We do like it when you can't throw the ball. It makes things a lot easier. Just need to stop a run now.
Mm-hmm. And they kind of put it together in the back half of the game there, but for the most part, yeah, it was I'm trying to remember, was it at the end of the first half or the second half when the Titans had a chance to run the clock down to 27 seconds and instead tried to throw the ball twice, so they ran no time off the clock and then gave the ball back up to us so that we got to score.
That was the second half, I do believe, because I think we finished off with a field goal or something like that.
Yeah. That was one where at home I was scratching my head going, that's not what you do in that situation. And even the announcers on the broadcast were like, well, that's a strange play call decision from the offense here, but aggressive at least.
Got to be a little aggressive, I guess, in week 1. Time to get a feel for things.
Yeah, it did not end up working out to our benefit, though. And like we said, that is what was the final on that one? 20-12, something like that? It
was a weird score.
It was.
Because they got nothing but field goals.
Yeah, that was 20-12. Very good memory here. And as we discussed, yes, we are looking at that matchup against the Colts this weekend, and we are in Indy.
We are in Indy.
Okay. I still like our odds there, just thanks to I don't think Daniel Jones will have quite as fun a day against the Denver defense as he did against the Dolphins defense.
Which is why I have him on my bench in fantasy again, and I'm going to give Bo Nix one more go because I don't know what to expect out of the Indy defense quite yet. Yeah. I think that Miami offense struggled a little bit because they have some other stuff going on. I would expect us to win this one, but I don't know. The Colts looked really, really good last week, and we looked probably as bad as we possibly could.
Yeah, we definitely can't get that slow start again. We've got to be clicking a little bit more consistently right out of the gate in quarter 1. That was, last year when it looked like, this is a good playoff caliber team. That was kind of the thing. First drive touchdowns, first drive scoring.
There are a couple players that when I went back and I watched some film breakdowns from a couple different people and just from my own eyes. One, Alex Singleton doesn't look quite the same yet.
First game back after a year out.
Yeah, after he played the game with the torn ACL, but he does look like a little slower, not in the right spots.
Sure.
Ideally, when we'd like him to stop the play. So that's just sort of one observation. The other observation is Marvin Mims kind of just bringing in a little bit of a half job. The muff didn't help him a little bit, but whenever he's out there on offense, he's kind of just jogging through a lot of the stuff because he knows he's like the third or the fourth option,
you do wish. I mean, the key to that is you got to stay involved in your route, and that's how you become a more priority option. But
so the reason I had this because I watched the first breakdown of the first Bo Nix interception.
Mm-hmm.
It's the one where he threw the long ball. I think it was to Sutton, but that happens because Marvin Mims just kind of walks through his route, and the cornerback says, "Okay, I'll just turn back and go pick this off." But if he just takes off as one of the fastest dudes on the field at any given time
and puts that pressure on the vertical seam,
dude's not there.
Yeah, for sure. There were plenty of things to clean up on the offensive side across the board.
Yeah, I'm interested to see because the coaches are going to also watch it and see the film, and it's not going to do any favors to him. I just hope he kind of cleans some of that stuff up. Otherwise, him and Troy Flinkeren are unfortunately interchangeable at this point, really. And now that Franklin has the proper number on, he can catch the ball, it seems. Not always keep hold of it, as we saw the fumble out of bounds on the first drive, but he can catch it and is I think he's more willing to do the work.
It certainly seems so, and that tends to be the case when you're like new on the team, wanting to impress, especially a historically famous coach like Coach Payton. 100%. That hopefully is improved across the board. I think I was disappointed to see Bo kind of regress in his footwork and mechanical habits back to his...
After he spent the whole summer with Drew Brees.
Yeah. Pretty rough, immediate regression back to looking like a rookie again. But he also showed he could improve out of that. So I will give him the benefit of the doubt that he is going to bring a more steady and stable base to his throwing mechanics.
Yeah, first 3 quarters, not ideal, but he kind of figured it out a little bit there. Got a couple good throws, especially the one ball to Sutton for the touchdown.
And, it's a combo thing as well. It took a long time for the run to be dangerous enough for those bootlegs to start working, because boy, oh boy, it looks like a Gary Kubiak offense again a little bit with how many naked bootlegs we're running out here.
I worked in the first couple plays. They were wide open, but after that, it was kind of done. And like you said, set your feet, please.
Yeah.
Please just set your feet.
Yeah, I know he gets the happy feet. He can get on his horse and run a little bit, but you got to pick one or the other and get the hips and the shoulders in line. Come on, Bo.
Just got to clean up just the little details, and I think we might be okay. I still have my panic button closed now for now.
Okay.
But we'll see after this week how I feel.
Yes, absolutely. Any other matchups we're looking forward to in week 2 here? We've already got technically our first week 2 game in the books also. The Commanders and Packers played on Thursday night.
The Packers look really, really good from what I saw, at least the past couple weeks.
Their defense is very good with Micah Parsons on it.
Yeah, it's crazy how that works out.
It sure is.
I am a little worried about what the Commanders put together. I expected them to put up a little bit more of a fight. Week 1, I don't think they struggled too hard. But when they're going up,
they had the Giants as a very soft target, and then short week into the Packers. It's probably a rough kind of whiplash in terms of talent you're up against.
Packers, same thing. Who'd they play week 1?
The Packers whooped up on the Lions, surprisingly, actually. Yeah, so 27-13.
That's a tough matchup. So the Packers, I think, are probably favorite to win their division right now. I would have potentially had the Commanders favorite to win their division, especially after what we've seen happen in Philly.
They were really hot at the end of last year. It seemed like got better on paper in the offseason. A lot of high expectations on the Commanders this season.
But they didn't really get started until that second half. And no Austin Eckler. Apparently
he's done for the year.
He probably is done for the year with the torn ACL. I think I saw
the official. It is a torn ACL. He's done for 2025.
Yeah, so they have a lot of options out there. Running game is not, I don't think, is their strong suit, I would say. But would like to see them play just a little bit better. I think they have a good opportunity to win there out in the East with how we've seen Philly look, at least early on week 1. And again, it doesn't really mean anything, but they have potential to go up against them. Dallas, we know, is going to probably be gross this year. I'm going to say their first game was really an outlier because who the hell has an hour and a half break in between their game, hour and a half halftime?
Yeah.
And then the Giants are going to be disgusting with Russell Wilson.
Yep. Speaking of which, those two teams are going to play each other in week 2 here. Giants at Cowboys.
Unfortunately, somebody has to win. I think it's going to be the Cowboys.
Yeah, most likely.
So I'm interested.
They are in Dallas, though, so they might choke on that.
Maybe. I'm interested to see how long the Giants give the Russell experiment a go. He is their starting guy. Kind of went after him. Doesn't have a super big contract, but Jackson Dart looked really, really good this preseason, and it wouldn't hurt my head for them to say, all right, good enough. Flip over to the young guy and let him sort of have the reins. But Dable out there, not great at making decisions, it seems like. So
yeah, because that is a strange one where you can't let Russell dig you into too deep a hole before you make a switch, but also he has to dig himself some sort of hole before you make a switch.
Yeah.
And 0-2 will only be the beginning of a hole.
Yeah, it may be enough. I think after the third one, you do the switch over.
I think earlier than 3, but I think probably 4.
You can let him go. Maybe he'll get injured again mysteriously.
There you go. That might be the case. Otherwise, the week 2 matchups this week are a little strange, kind of off.
I mentioned it, so that there's some games I will have my eye on. The Steelers and Seahawks, I think, are going to be a good tell. Both those teams are kind of middling, and we'll see who comes out victor there. Eagles and Chiefs.
Chiefs is the big one I can see here on the docket, and then maybe Raiders
is going to be important.
As the Monday night game.
I'm interested also to see that Falcons-Vikings game. Falcons played really, really well for what I was expecting them to do this year, at least in week 1. Vikings struggled a little bit more than I had hoped. So it was a good tell to see where both teams are going to be at. Are the Vikings truly going to be what we saw from last Monday, or are the Falcons maybe better than I think most people have them as?
Yeah, that will be interesting, and that is the Sunday night primetime game there, so that'll be good. And then, yeah, otherwise, I don't know, Bears-Lions. The Lions will be looking for a comeback against that Packers loss.
Both those teams need to win, but I can't imagine the Bears are going to keep up with the Lions, especially if the Lions play how we know they.
Yeah, again,
them too, but
on paper you wouldn't think, but in each new season you can never give last season too much credit.
Any given Sunday,
absolutely. And what else? The Jaguars had a good beginning to their season with their new look Hunter Travis offense. They're facing off against the Bengals this week.
Bengals escaped with a victory. Joe Burrow.
This is when we know that they're most vulnerable early in the season.
I don't even know what to say about them. Joe Burrow does not look good. Like he didn't look good last season. But he did have the Jamar Chase issue where they got kind of worked that out a little bit later than they should have. And he doesn't look good this season. I don't know if I just need Joe Burrow to be good and I'd be fine. But right now I'm conflicted about what to say about him. He had the one really, really good season. Pretty sure he got hurt. And then after that, he's not been the
This
same.
is a bit of a prove it year for sure, because he had the one good year which gets you a few seasons of credit.
Went to the Super Bowl,
and those are kind of up now. And it's like, okay, you got to prove it again, man. Do you still have it in you?
We're paying you a lot of money to do something special, and you are looking less
pretty
than
pedestrian,
normal.
These days. So for sure, that will be a trend to look out for in that Bengals season. Any other NFL stories or notes out of this week from you?
None that I can recall.
Okay. Then let's do our roundup on round ball sports, as we like to call them around here. And we'll start with the small one, get the baseball news out of the way. The Rockies, the magic number to avoid the worst record ever, is officially 0. We are with a win over the Padres last night at 41 wins, tying the Chicago White Sox for their total wins on last season.
Ooh.
We can only be tied for the worst record in MLB history now. With any other win, though, we will be safe.
Do they have the most losses in MLB history?
The last year's White Sox set the record, yeah.
I thought they had like They were just barely.
No, they said it.
Okay.
Over like the 1923 Mets, something like that. But yes, we will, barring a miraculous streak here at the end of the year. We have 14 games left on the schedule. Currently, the Rockies are at 41 and 107. They would need to win 13 of the last 14 games to avoid setting the worst record in franchise history.
Not going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely not. The old record was 53 wins. We are still at 41. And surprisingly, I looked this up. Last year's Chicago White Sox, in their last 14 games, had 8 wins of their 41.
Yeah, we're on a hot streak, and everyone was so sad.
Essentially, yeah. I do not foresee that coming with the Rockies. I don't know if you saw, we're on first baseman number 5 currently.
Where's my guy?
Warming Bernabel got hurt. He's on the injured list.
Jeeb.
Classic. If you're any good at Coors Field, you go on the injured list.
Yeah, I'm hurt.
Yeah. So Michael Toglia was in for 3 games before he unfortunately, I think, struck out 6 times in 3 games.
What does it matter?
They sent him down and called up yet another first base prospect.
Poor Tolia's not having he's been having a rough go since the last Dodgers game the first Dodgers game we went to.
Yeah, absolutely. So say hello to your new first baseman, Blaine Krim.
Where do they find? Well, first off, who is naming these kids? 2, where are they finding these guys?
Yeah, there's something in the socioeconomics of how baseball players end up being baseball players based on their name, I'm sure. We do have to give a little tip of the hat to Mr. Blaine Krim, who got his first hit as our only run scored last night, a home run to avoid... Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is live action I'm reporting on. We're losing 5-1 currently against these Padres.
Yeah, that's why I said there ain't a chance we get 8 more wins or 12 more wins or any.
Yeah.
We're lucky to settle with 3.
Mr. Blaine Krim's first career hit and home run last night came as part of a 4-2 victory against those Padres. Tanner Gordon, again with the win, 1 earned run in 6 innings pitched. He's looking pretty good. We should give him a nice big, probably 12-year contract, maybe $200 million. Just really throw the books at him because he's put up 3 solid games in a row at Coors Field, a thing that has not been done since Jorge De La Rosa.
Oh, Senzatello's pitching too.
Oh boy. Yeah, not gonna be a W in the win column tonight, probably. And then, like we've been forecasting, after this Padres series, we've got one more game with them tomorrow. We are hosting the Marlins and the Angels, and you never know that's gonna be a dogfight of bad teams. None of it will matter though.
Baseball is so, oddly enough, I looked at, there's like a little graphic out there, and it's a little deceiving, right? Because we all know baseball plays damn near half the year, right? 163 games.
6 months out of the year, yeah, fully.
But it's just like the little block they have in there, because it doesn't, like, the football season's technically longer, but you only have a game once a week,
yeah,
for 18 weeks.
Baseball's packing them in.
Baseball has
every
3
day.
games, so on the little graphics, like, look at all these sports, look how long they go on, but it's like, no.
Yeah, no, there's a density layer you're not representing there.
Like, they have to survive till the end of the month. We still have till the end of the month for the misery to go on.
And that is, I think, one of my big lessons of, baseball is a marathon sport. It's an endurance sport. It's part of why the 162 games is so entrenched in there. It's
crazy because that's how they feel. That's how the NBA and I assume some of the NHL players feel about their sport, where they're playing 83 or 85
82,
games.
Yeah, we're going to be up to 84 in the NHL soon.
Yeah, it's just like some games you're just kind of go out there, you're not feeling it, and you just do whatever. Do the best you can, have some fun with it. It's like kind of whatever. 163 though? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, insane workload. So yeah, that's the Rocks forecast right now. In other news around the league, after we recorded last week, I think like the day after, the Dodgers nearly had a historic game, and then it all went terribly wrong. Yoshinobu Yamamoto was literally 1 out away from a no-hitter.
We have not. I don't think we've seen one this year
We
quite
have
yet.
not.
No-hitter or perfect game. Usually we have at
least a no-hitter.
Yeah.
Perfect games are one of the rarest occurrences in the game, but no-hitter that would have been the first one of the season. We've yet to feature one in this particular year, and instead Jackson Holliday crushed his 1-1 fastball out into center field and got his Orioles on the board, and they continued to rally with 2 outs until it was so this was not entirely fair. So Yamamoto got pulled immediately after he gave up the 1 run. It's like, okay, we were letting you go for the no-hitter. You had a great game. Go take a rest. Have a sit. We'll bring in one of the bullpen guys.
Here comes Senzatella running out.
Now, yeah, the problem for Dave Roberts over there in Dodgers land.
You've had your reliever warming up for 7 innings or 6 innings or whatever it is by now.
Well, the main problem was that your actual closer, the guy you call your closer, just blew a game last night. Gave up a lead and lost you the game. So you're going to give him the night off, ideally. So you call in your 8th inning guy. The 8th inning guy does not have it tonight.
He's not the closer.
Immediately gives up 3 runs. And then he calls... No, I think it was just the 8th inning guy who had to wear it. And it was a 4-3 loss after all was said and done. A walk-off, I think 2-run home run to finish things off. So a heartbreaking turn of events for... the Dodgers, but who otherwise have surprisingly been getting healthier and healthier here just at the right time at the end of the season. So their rotation is actually looking pretty formidable again, especially with Shohei nearly up to full pitching duty in terms of starter workload.
I would say I was a little worried about him because he did not have a good time with us. But
almost no one who comes to Coors Field to pitch does.
Yeah, I'm also shocked that we don't have a no-hitter. Surely.
You'd think. I mean, so speaking of people who didn't have a good time at Coors Field, Paul Skeens gave up the 4 runs at Coors Field. Those 4 runs may keep him from setting a record in terms of ERA.
Oh.
He's he's on the borderline of a sub-2 ERA for the season.
Literally just ruining
baseball for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. But yes, that was the Dodger news. The other big news this week is Aaron Judge is back in business. He having a little bit of a rough time. He is nursing an elbow flexor injury.
Ow.
Yeah.
Especially swinging the bat.
Swinging the bat or throwing a ball with your right arm as a right-handed batter.
Oh, it's in his right elbow?
It is his right elbow.
Oh, God.
And guess what? He plays right field when he plays defense.
I thought that's where you put all the...
You're also supposed to put the guys with really strong arms who can throw to home plate, no problem.
Where do you go if you want to hide your guy?
Left, generally.
Oh, I thought it was out and right.
No. Well...
Because
you want your right fielder to have the strongest arm.
But you don't have the only way it gets out there is on a lefty batter for the most part.
On a pull, yeah. But yeah, all those things aside, unfortunately, because you are on a roster that also includes Giancarlo Stanton, and you cannot put Giancarlo Stanton out to play defense.
Not anymore.
He must be your designated hitter, and so Aaron Judge must go out and play defense on a bum arm. And he's not been having the greatest time with that, but he does have his home run swing back. He is up to 47 on the season, which is impressive enough on its own. And now climbing the all-time Yankees list, he just passed Joe DiMaggio this week for 4th all-time in Yankees history. He's in, I think, at 366 home runs in his career now. And certainly seems like we have quite a few more years of Aaron Judge still being a very dangerous hitter.
I was about to say, I didn't realize how old he is. Baseball,
he's been around for
31.
The seasons, for as long as they are and as constant as they seem, continue to fall away. And yes, all of a sudden, Fernando Tatis Jr. is in his 13th season or something.
Jesus.
We're old men. I don't know what to tell you. Just by observing baseball, you age at an aggressive rate.
Yeah, that I do feel.
But yeah, I think that was all of my my big baseball headlines this week. What do you got for us out of basketball?
Oh, where to even begin here? Let's start with the happy news. Like we talked about, the WNBA season did wrap up. So we have our final 8. And in the playoffs, we are going to see the Lynx take on the Valkyrie, who took up that 8 spot. Mercury and Liberty are going to battle out 4 and 5. Aces still have not lost quite yet.
16 in a row.
Taking the 2 spot, but they're going to go see the Seattle Storm. And then we have the Dream and the Fever. Unfortunately, LA just missed out on it.
It was that last game of the season, and I checked in on that. That was a heartbreaker.
Yeah, you do not want that. From what I saw, or for the highlights I saw from that game, is you don't want to play the Aces at all.
Unfortunately, it was game over after the first quarter. It was like 27-13.
Yeah, no, the Aces
after the first quarter.
Aces are on a mission.
And good luck to Seattle.
Very much so. So first round is all the games begin September 14th. Good scheduling on the WNBA part here. And we are best of 3 this first round. So first to get 2 advances on, and then we'll have a best of 5 and then a best of 7.
Oh, okay, interesting. That'll be fun.
Brand new format this year.
Right. I remember because that had been a thing about it. They're being a little short, especially for the finals.
Yeah, best of 3, and then it was best of 5. So they changed it up this year. So anything could happen.
It'll be a real dogfight for the championship this year.
Very, very much so. It could
That'll be fun,
depending on who gets there. Like I said,
well, if you have to win 4 instead, it'll at least be a little bit longer of a fight.
Yeah, at least that for sure. Hopefully, you can sneak in at least one win before you go out.
Yeah.
But team you don't want to see, Aces for sure. The Lynx are not a
that's a
great
tough
team to
matchup.
see
We know
as well. But the fun games going on here. I'm interested to see what happened between the Phoenix and Liberty. I think anyone could come out on that. The Liberty have kind of been very up and down this year. It seems
that's going to be a prove it series for the Liberty, because I think on paper they should take that, but like we've seen, they've been more vulnerable than we thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, unfortunately, whoever wins that matchup, I think, has to go play the Lynx, if I remember correctly from my bracketology.
I think so, yeah.
So could be another matchup from the past championship that we saw, Liberty versus Lynx there. And then the Dream versus Fever is kind of sad. The Dream I expect to kind of beat up on the Fever a little bit, because the Fever are missing just so many pieces that I wish they had, and everyone wished they had. Atlanta Aces is going to be, I think that's going to be a very fun matchup. Aces kind of have been smacking down on everyone, and they even Atlanta when they saw them not too long ago in their route to 16 straight. So anything is possible, but I do like my Aces rolling right now.
I think they have to be the favorite. I imagine the forecast is Aces Lynx final.
Yes,
and
maybe I haven't looked around. But if I'm a betting man, the 1-2 are usually the people that are.
I might just open my app and put that little wager in right now, because that's what I'm reading in the tea leaves here.
And some other fun news through the NBA. They've kind of given away some of the awards. Aja, I think, came away with Defensive Player of the Year and Offensive Player of the Year.
Okay.
So
pretty good, but not MVP.
We haven't heard on MVP quite yet.
Okay,
but I have been seeing some posts about Aj, and I think those are the awards. I'm about to go check right now, so I'm not lying to you, which is very, very possible.
Very good. While you're double checking on that, I will note a little news I saw. The Unrivaled League, our favorite off-season 3v3 women's basketball league, is expanding for season 2 with 2 new teams, bringing our total up to 8. And we will be welcoming in Breeze Basketball Club and Hive Basketball Club. And I believe we're also expecting Paige Beckers for season 2.
Yeah, Paige Beckers signed last year.
Yeah, before this. Yeah.
And we'll see a couple. I
think Sonia Citron's in talks.
Yeah, and we may see a couple more of the NCAA female athletes potentially.
So I saw with the 8th team now, there's going to be 48 roster spots for the official players, and then they're going to do a different sort of bench system this year, where it's going to be development, like prospect level players who are just in sort of a pool of available, like, if a team is playing and needs someone, they'll be like the first call up, essentially.
Aja scored the AP, so Associated Press, not WNBA Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year.
Okay. It's not from the league official, but...
from everyone in the press.
Yes. A pretty good recognition as well.
Yeah, but I am excited about the expansion of the Unrivaled League. From what we saw last year, it's a very, very fun league. I like the brand new, fresh idea it brings, especially as we continue to go along with, unfortunately, our short attention spans in the world of media and everything else. Having that sort of short form basketball is super cool and super nice.
It really does hit a different, I don't know, sort of pleasure center in the brain or whatever versus, a longer season buildup, where this one is, kind of quicker in and out, a little bit more digestible, and very excited to see, because I think part of the thing that we saw in Unrivaled Season 1 is that in a league where you are given so much more equity in the success of it, it's just so much easier to get a kind of top effort performance, because we all know in the long seasons of regular season, you're not going to have your A game every single night, but we definitely see more off nights in the WNBA than we do in Unrivaled League.
Sure.
So, also excited to see that. And when does Season 2 of Unrivaled kick off?
Assume they take a little bit of a break here and we'll begin...
Let's find out if it's posted on the website. Not listed yet. The 2026 season games have not been announced.
Yeah, I thought it started early spring this year and kind of rolled into the WNBA season was the advantage during the summer.
Yeah.
Since it is kind of a short, like you said, a shorter form. So I would expect them to be back March, February-ish, maybe.
Yeah, I do forget we will have the whole holiday season for them to actually have an off season before ramping back up into play.
Yes.
That checks out. I'm slightly remembering earlier this year / last year.
Yeah, it feels like so long ago already.
It really does.
Our other round ball news, big round ball, orange round ball, is in the NBA. We have heard so much about our man Kawhi Leonard and the investigation with the Clippers. They have kind of uncovered a little bit more. As we know, the NBA is investigating, and there has to be a blatant you violated these rules. The cardinal sin of salary cap tempering is what
interesting
Adam Silver said. But on top of the clause that we kind of talked about last year, I mean, if you don't play for the team, you don't get played. Little suspect in most eyes, but to begin there, the company, sort of the shell company that was a little scandalous, maybe potentially for a lot of different reasons, is called Aspiration. And the way that things were working is Aspiration's kind of been failing now for a few years now. And oddly enough, we've seen some odd things, like Kawhi was supposed to be paid $1.75 million for one of his months of service, and boy, what a service he supplied. Thing was, Aspiration didn't have the money, but along came this guy named Dennis Wong, who gave Aspiration $2 million, not but a few days or weeks later, and Kawhi got paid a few days after that.
Interesting.
Why is this weird? Dennis Wong is a co-owner of the LA Clippers.
Yeah.
But he is also the former roommate of Steve Ballmer, going back to his Harvard days.
Of course.
So, little strange there. On top of that, Pablo also reports that 9 other sources basically say that Ballmer had pushed $10 million into Aspiration in March of 2023. Wouldn't that be strange, because that's also the time Kawhi was getting paid.
Yeah, just all very coincidental.
All coincidental.
Absolutely.
And from what we've heard, Mark Cuban has also kind of sat down and sparred with Pablo, and his stance was he was for Ballmer, which I thought was strange, but also the people with the billions of dollars all seem to think a little bit of the same. And
yeah, I'm not terribly surprised the billionaires are on the same side of that.
It's if you're the millionaire, though, that's where you got to come in and say, hey, we're all friends here. We're all very wealthy, rich men, and I could drop $100, not even care. But for me, that's different than it is for you, my friends. And we gotta, the playing field's got to be equal somewhere around here. So
Yep, for sure. Very interesting. So it seems like nothing's going to come of this.
They are investigating. Oddly, they did have just an owners meeting as well this past week, but apparently they were told not to discuss this matter at all, which is strange because in the owners meeting you're supposed to sort of discuss all the litigations and things that are happening within the league.
Yeah, one would think.
But this is the first time in a long time that the NBA's had such a kerfuffle. It's been since, I think, the Chris Paul trade that we've had such a eyes open sort of what is happening with the transactions within the WNBA happening. And this is the first time Adam Silver is sort of taking lead on this.
Yeah, get involved. Like we said, I said it last week, if you're not pushing the letter of the law, you're not trying to win.
I don't know, but his job is he's supposed to be working for the owners, but he's also
having to regulate the league. And yeah, for sure. Tricky place to be in as far as an executive. I'm glad I'm not doing that job this week.
Nope.
I handed the reins back over on that as soon as I could.
As you should have.
Yeah, for sure. Any other basketball news to cover?
That is it. We are, like you said, we are not very far away from having ice on the court again, or ice in the rink, and hardwood on the court.
Ice. Yeah, that's the order.
It upsets me they put the ice on the
ice
court.
has to be on the bottom. I'm not sure what to tell you.
It's cold.
Yeah, and
either
you can't tell when you're out on the floor on the hardwood. It's a good insulated layer.
No,
you don't get chilly feet. I've been out down on it when it's ice, and it's actually a very warm hockey playing surface.
Very, very warm ice.
It is the warmest I've ever been skating on an ice rink.
Were you padded though?
Yeah, full dress up.
That's so different. It's like wearing winter clothes basically. You have so many.
So between that and the Foothills local 40-year-old rink that was,
because they're just blasting the AC to keep the ice on.
Literally, you have to be fully bundled in winter gear to sit in the stands in there. It's terrible. It's, if you remember the scene from Mighty Ducks 3 when they have to play the very early morning game against the varsity team, and they've got the dry ice effect on the ice to make it seem extra spooky. It's like that in there, for real.
It is spooky.
So yeah. What were we talking about?
We just wrapped up basketball.
Fantastic. I think that's all of our sports reporting. The PLL Championship will be occurring tomorrow. Unfortunately, they will be competing with NFL action for people's attention, but I'll be sure to pop in and see what's going on there between our Denver Outlaws and the New York Atlas. But you will have to wait till next week to get the full report on who comes out in the PLL Championship. Otherwise, Players of the Week. In baseball, got Aaron Judge climbing that all-time list, gets my nod out of the baseball world. We're not playing any hockey or PLL this week, but I will go ahead, and we have enough football to make our first football nominations. I am going to give it to Josh Allen.
Interesting.
I think Josh had a very impressive second half of his game. And was kind of single-handedly responsible for Matt Prater aside. Love Matt, but Josh Allen. Matt Prater's not in position to make that kick without Josh Allen in that 4-minute drill there.
Huh.
So yeah, what did I say? Aaron Judge and Josh Allen are going to be my two nominees. Who you got for Player of the Week this week?
Once again, I'm going to throw my girl out there, Aja Wilson, because 16 in a row to finish off the streak, all led by her. Of course, she's had a lot of help from her teammates who have all stepped up in a number of ways, but her being the leader, double-double all the way through, 20-plus, 10-plus rebounds. Hard to top that. My NFL nomination I'm going to throw out there is going to be none other than the guy on my bench, Danny Dimes.
Ooh.
He did only have one touchdown to his name, but 115 rating to go with. 22 for 29, 207 D2 yards.
Yeah, absolutely a big bounce back performance.
Oh, and he had 2 rushing. That's why he had all the rushing touchdowns. I forgot about that.
That's right. That's what made it have an extra little boost there. Yeah, for sure. Let's see here. Well, so who are we gonna? We've got 4 nominees for the first time ever. Between our NFL quarterbacks, Daniel Jones had a 115. Josh Allen was right behind with a 112, had 2 passing touchdowns, and had a 71% completion. That's pretty good. And what was Danny at? 76. Okay. I gotta tip the hat. Daniel Jones had the better week on paper for sure. Josh Allen's was a little more dramatic. We do like the flair for the dramatic.
It is more dramatic. However, if we're looking at, if I said this is what Josh Allen did this week, everyone's like, yeah. Versus if I say, look at what Daniel Jones did this week, everyone's like, oh,
for sure.
You said whose name?
One is exceeding expectations a little more than the other, for sure. So we'll Daniel Jones versus Aaron Judge. Daniel Jones, one good week in week 1 that does not matter. Aaron Judge, 47 home runs on the season and counting, and on the all-time list just past Joe DiMaggio.
No one knows who that is.
You do have to be of a certain age, I think, to know that name. That's for sure.
I think I'm gonna have to give it to Aaron Judge.
Very good. I think that's for the criteria we have set for Player of the Week. We I think have to honor that level of achievement.
Yeah.
So yes, congratulations to Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees as this week's Player of the Week. And I think we have time for a closing quiz.
We have a closing quiz. So I've actually stacked this one because we did pop culture.
We did do pop culture craft
yes.
a couple weeks ago instead for Labor Day.
Yeah, so I had this one prepared.
Oh, fantastic.
This one's a fun one because it's kind of a quiz. It's a little bit more of a game show. It's called Which is Cooler, Which is More Unlikely, and we're going to talk about all the things that can happen out there in the sports world. Your job is to pick which one is less likely to happen. Which one is the better achievement?
Okay, I'm confused but intrigued. Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. So here's how this game is going to work. What is more unlikely to happen? A 20-point triple-double in a basketball game, or an NHL player having 3 or more points in a game? Which one of those is a better statistical achievement?
Is a more rare statistical achievement?
Correct.
Interesting. 20-point triple-double or 3 points in an NHL game? I think the 20-point triple-double is more rare.
You are correct.
Yes.
Which one of these is more awesome, we'll say? A better statistical achievement. So now you know how the game is played.
Okay.
And we're just going to kind of keep going down the list here. An NHL player having 3 or more points.
Okay.
Or a triple play in baseball.
Oh, the triple play is way rare.
Triple play is much more rare. What is more rare, the triple play or a perfect game in baseball?
The perfect game.
Perfect game is far more rare. How about this one? What is more rare, perfect game or hitting for a cycle?
Ooh, I think still perfect game.
Perfect game is still more rare. What is more rare, hitting for a cycle or an NHL shutout?
Hitting for a cycle.
Hitting for a cycle is more rare indeed. What is more rare, the NHL shutout or an NFL shutout?
Ooh, NFL shutout.
You are correct. The NFL shutout is more rare. You are almost for 100% here. This might be the first time in history.
Hell yeah.
What is more rare, the NFL shutout or an NFL perfect passer rating?
Ooh, more. Is there a particular time frame we're considering for these stats, or just like an all time?
Kind of all time.
Okay.
Kind of like if they were to happen today. And this is mostly kind of like based off our player of the week. Which one of these is a little bit better?
Okay, this is the trickiest one of the bunch. One more time, please.
NFL shutout or an NFL perfect passer rating?
Perfect passer rating.
Perfect passer rating is more rare.
Nice.
Is it the NFL perfect passer rating or an NBA game where both teams finish under 100?
Perfect passer rating still.
You are correct. An NBA game where both teams finish under 100 or the average probability an NHL team scores 7 or more goals.
Oh, 7 or more goals.
You are wrong.
My streak.
It is more rare that a team finishes under 100 points than it is for an NHL team right now to score 7 or more goals.
That's a little wild, and I do have to blame the Avalanche for skewing that data.
They are a big part of that data, yes.
Yeah. Well, good job, Nate and Kale.
Excellent. You are a 9 for 10 out of that.
I wanted that 10 out of 10 so bad.
It is the best score we've ever had on this.
Absolutely my best performance in closing quiz of all time, and thanks for the format shakeup so I could do that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Fantastic. That was a good one. That's tough research to have pulled together.
It took a little bit.
Yeah, very impressive. A good game show design.
Thank you very much.
I applaud it quite well. Well, I believe it. That is all of the sports we can cram into this week.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming along. As much fun as Nick and I have enjoyed covering the sports, we have decided that we are going to do a little bit of a shakeup. We do love sports, but we want to cover more than sports. So this may be potentially the last week in sports as we know it.
Gonna say, yeah, for the most part, you don't need Zach and I to tell you the weekly sports news. We have other things. We have sports opinions to express, but they don't have to be tied to the time of
Indeed.
week.
And it's not like you'll never get sports coverage on here because, of course, we're going to continue to talk. We're going to continue to follow the Kawhi Leonard story because how often do you ever see this in the sports world?
Oh, yeah.
But we are going to branch out a little bit and touch on anything and everything in the world, sports, movies, music, TV, whatever it is we'll bring our ideas and opinions just to try out something a little bit different. But also it's something we both enjoy. Neither one of us we are very big sports nerds, but are not so crazy about it that it's the only thing that we desire to seek and cover.
Indeed, and especially coming into winter sports time where hockey and basketball are just so constant.
Yeah, it is a tough deal to do, and we've done so many different format changes of just this show alone to try to fit everything in and continue to talk about what we want to talk about. I think this was a good sort of starting point for us to at least get our voices out there and figure out what is this podcasting space and who we want to become from there. So expect some changes, big changes coming along this next one, not just a format change, but just the topics we're going to discuss. And I hope you guys continue to follow along with us. We are going to continue to be, instead of This Week in Sports, it'll probably just be This Weekend because it really could be talking about anything. But we thank you all for listening and hope you continue following along with us. Like I said, hopefully it'll be more fun for you guys as well. I know a lot of people like to hear us talk about sports in general and hopefully continue to like to hear us talk about whatever, and we can open it up for everybody to enjoy, not just the folks that enjoy sports.
A surprising amount of people are not sportos, and I do forget that sometimes.
Yeah, I do too. And it is part of our pop culture, which we are kind of going to move toward, but like I said, this will not be the end of sports coverage, but it will be the end of just primarily sports coverage. And I think both of us are very excited to go cover a lot more that our hearts and our hobbies are involved in, for sure. But if you guys have not quite yet followed us, we are about to embark on a brand new journey, and now would be a great time, especially if you like hearing our voices, because it's going to be more than sports this next go around. Please do give us a follow on the Spotify. The show title is going to change probably ever so slightly, as well as our category, because it doesn't make sense if we're not covering sports to be in the sports category.
Yeah, probably not.
But if you've not checked out our website as well, please do so. Go to 321pods.com. You can find all of our stuff there.
Yep.
This Week in Sports, and eventually This Week In, as well as Let's Take a Journey on there as well. We also have I've added a streamer onto our broadcaster of our network of things.
We're sponsoring a streamer now.
We are. His name is Donisi. He's my cousin. You can go find his story on This Weekend if you want to go learn about him. And I'm going to force him to post when he's going to go live. So give his Twitch a follow and go check out his YouTube and stuff as well. It's kind of branching out into a little bit more stuff for us. So I'm excited to see how this goes along. But thank you guys for joining us here. And like I said, hope you continue to follow us along, even if we're not covering solely on sports. We will see you guys next week on our brand new show.
Absolutely.
If you did not know, I am your host with the most, Zach, the host with many hats to wear now. And along with me is my partner in podcast, my culture craft hero, Nick.
And I'm no longer purely identified by my hockey knowledge. That's a little strange new territory to be in.
Of course it is. We will see you guys next week on our brand new show. Adios.
Adios.